In this lecture, let's add the robot class to a game object. We haven't had the opportunity to test our work. I think it's time to verify our code is fully functional. We should enter prefab edit mode. Let's double-click on the robot prefab. Next, select the robot game object from the hierarchy. It should be the parent object of our prefab. Under the inspector, we can add our class as a component. Believe it or not, all components are classes. The transform component is a class. So are the mesh filter and mesh renderer components. Unlike our class, these classes are created by Unity. We can add our class like any other component. Click on the Add Component button. Search for the robot class. As you can see, our class appears on the list. If our class didn't inherit the MonoBehavior class, Unity would not allow us to add the class to the game object. Select this class from the list. Just like that, the class becomes a component. If we look closely, our variables have been converted into fields. Public variables can be modified by the editor. If a variable is private, Unity will not be able to modify our variables. This is a big difference between public and private variables. You'll notice something strange. The isTurnedOn field is checked. Our variable is set to false. Unity does not check the box for false values. So, why is the box ticked? The reason is simple. Upon adding the class as a component to a game object, Unity will create an instance of our class. As we learned, constructor methods will run when a class is instantiated. Therefore, the variable gets updated to true. Thus, the box gets ticked. Let's try proving this behavior. Switch back to Visual Studio Code. Let's apply a comment to the isTurnedOn variable from within the robot constructor method. Next, head back to Unity. The changes won't be applied because Unity has already created an instance from our class. We can force a new instance by removing the component. Right-click on the name of the robot component. Select Remove. Lastly, add the robot class again. This time, the checkbox is left unticked. By not updating the variable from within the constructor method, the variable is left alone. Perfect. We've successfully created our first class. In almost an hour, we created a class with custom data and methods. It took a while, but it was well worth the effort. In the next set of lectures, let's expand on our class by adding more features, such as custom methods.